Zach Moss.
And I'm AJ Finney.
And this is
Hippie
Not Hippie. Hey, everybody, welcome to episode 63 of Hippie Not Hippie.
Oh, someone's got the fucking buttons back.
Yeah, fix the buttons, baby.
Oh,
They're
man.
fixed.
Oh, fingering the button like the old days.
That's incredible. I love that.
Yeah.
Man.
Magic time. We're joined by two guests today, two special guests. Combined, they are Wolf Hawk Comedy, but individually, Lizzy Wolfson and Elliot Broder, a.k.a. Mike Hawkburns,
Thank you guys so much.
in the house.
Amazing.
Appreciate it. The Hawkman is not going to be here today, probably, except for right now.
The Hawkman.
He's got to go.
I don't know. The Hawkman likes hippie things.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But except, being from the South, it's a little bit,
A little different. Allman Brothers were from the South.
There you
it's
go.
true. But that's Georgia, That's
It's
Georgia's cool, bro.
in the South. There's like weird, like redneck hippie overlap.
Yeah, it's a little different
Yeah.
style. But it's, I think, more of a...
It's like a tie-dye Leonard Skinner shirt.
like bleach tie-dye.
Yeah, how to get tie-dyed? I just put a red rag in with my white shirt, and now I look like I'm from one of them city folk.
In the South, if you wear paisley, you're gay, and we only know that
Because of
because
Zach.
of Zach.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that until I went there. But that's according to the South. That's
In the South.
that's
Yeah.
what that
According to the
means. So
Yeah. Old Zach, he wears paisley, and the beard is more than just something on his face.
That's it. Yeah, I also feel like in the South, though, that means I'm straight, which is
Yeah.
very weird. They're like, black sweatshirt, she must be straight.
I bet she could change the oil on my old tractor.
Yeah, it's like a mean dick.
Choose the pitcher for the softball team.
Yeah, exactly.
you're a sturdy,
I'm a sturdy woman, baby. I'm a sturdy woman, baby. No gay paisley for me.
I'm
Old barns
I'm-
don't fall.
For those of you at home too, I'm referencing one of Lizzie's jokes. I'm not just making that bold statement.
Oh yeah.
I like how we just lost fans.
I'm like,
We're
yeah, you know what, Lizzie? You're a
"Jeez."
sturdy woman. That's what you know.
You know what's funny is that your fans are probably like, "Is Zach hitting on her right now?" God damn, dude, this got weird fast.
But yeah, you guys are in the process. You have a new podcast that's coming out soon.
We do.
Yes.
We do.
I had the pleasure of doing one with you guys the other day. It was a lot of fun.
Numero
Yeah, thanks.
uno.
We had a
You
nice
are the
time with you
first
as well.
guest. You are our first. You are a main man.
I hadn't seen you in a long time either, so it just felt like
Yeah, no,
Catching up.
Gotta catch up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was
And
it was a good time. I didn't know that either of us had such strong views on China.
yeah, I kind of went. I went blank during that. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Yeah.
Sounds
No,
very aggressive.
It was real aggressive at the end, and
Was it?
my whole body just went like my eyes just went back into my head, and I was like, they're gonna talk, and I'm gonna just not say anything.
no, I saw the look on your face. You're like, "Fuck!" It was a good
God damn it.
episode until you guys started talking about
I thought it was
China.
hilarious. I had a great time. Yeah.
We talked about comedy
a
and
lot
things
of
like
shit.
that. It's just Zach hates TikTok because of China,
It was just
and that's
TikTok hate,
where the conversation
which
happened.
revolved into China.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which everyone's favorite app to hate.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate them all. I'm
hate 'em
so
all.
mad. I like
So mad.
Zuckerberg the other day was just like, "I'm gonna win AI because you guys already gave me all your data."
Yeah. We
yeah.
gave him
Like,
everything,
Well,
dude.
Yeah.
And now that Apple's doing the glass thing, they've been pushing that on all the social media to me. Has
What is
anyone
it?
seen any
Oh.
of these ads for this?
No, what is this?
I guess I don't even know what it is.
Have
Oh,
you
good.
tried?
That's the thing to bring up. That's one
It's
thing.
their new
Do you
virtual
know about
reality
quantum
shit.
physics?
Yeah, it's-
Me either. I just thought I'd bring it up for no goddamn reason.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's VR. I just didn't physically know what it looked like. You know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
assumed.
So is it
was-
off the, when you're saying it's Apple, is it off the, like the phones? Or is this off the,
Good.
how's it
Good.
being utilized?
Well,
It's I think just like the AI and the universe in it that they made and shit. I don't know. I just know it's supposed to cost like $4,000, and
Is it going in your eye like a contact?
I don't know. I have
It's
no idea.
it's a headset that you wear.
Wait,
And
how does it affect your eyes?
You see, it's got a screen.
Man.
So it's
I'm
got a
confused.
screen. It's got a screen that when you strap it to your face, it
Oh.
covers all of your vision, so it feels like you're immersed in this experience.
Okay, now I'm there. I'm very tired.
So
So when you said headphones, I was like, well, how does the ear affect the eye? Jesus
Right.
Christ, shit's
yeah,
weird in the AI world.
yeah, so I've tried it over the years. I've never had my own, but I've had friends that have had it, and I tried the newest like Meta or whatever one that came out in
Right.
this new Half-Life game, and it's fucking pretty, like, it's pretty wild.
It feels pretty real.
You feel like you're in another place. Yeah, and then you can do shit. So like I picked up a marker and was writing on a window in an alien world on another planet. I was
That's
like, and the
crazy.
first thing I did was draw
The
a dick.
dick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my buddy just
That makes
goes,
sense.
Fly that flag. If you're on the moon,
Yeah.
just dick flags.
Yeah, Tyrell Hartman is who I was trying to at his house, and he was just like, Marquita, everybody
draws a dick.
Everybody draws a dick. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first thing.
You're gonna overload the AI circuits with too much dick
Yeah.
drawings. It's gonna be so good at drawing dicks.
Why do
checks out.
they keep drawing upside down ice cream cones? I don't understand.
We think we're all so unique, and then when
No.
we get a marker in our hands and a place to draw,
Turns
the first
out we're
thing
just
we
human.
do, yeah,
The only way to know if this really works
Yeah.
is if there's a dick drawing.
How's he gonna
sensor
handle
in it.
this dick? Now, why'd you draw a soft one? I'm just trying to be different.
Right, exactly.
that's how they're
Why
gonna
are the balls so hairy?
that's how they're gonna have to do a CAPTCHA in the future to see if you're an AI or not. They'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
like, they'll just give you a marker, and if you don't draw a dick, they're like, all right, you're a computer.
They're not worried about bridges and lights anymore. They're just like, can you see the dick?
Yep.
Perfect. Great.
All right. Seems like you drew a block with no head. Robot.
Doesn't quite look right.
Yeah.
You made a robot dick. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
So I love the concept of wolf hawk, the animal amalgamation.
Oh,
which you
yes.
have
Oh, yeah,
formed
the two
through
together.
comedy. I was curious if you guys, if AJ and I were an animal combination,
What you got?
what would you guys think that AJ and I would be?
Oh man.
Well, we went off our last names, not what we look like. We don't look like a wolf and a hawk.
Yeah. Though.
So we would be like Fenmas.
Yeah, Finmas.
I know, but just for fun's sake,
That sounds
if
like-
if we were an animal, like if we were some sort of beast warrior.
Oh, yeah. I think we would be a horse, but one of us has got to be the legs.
Wait a second. Why do you think you're a horse?
Oh, I'm just, because we'd just be in a horse costume.
like two of you in a.
Yeah.
In a
I feel like you're more
I'm
like a
saying
goldfish,
we'd
right?
be two animals together. A
What's the
goldfish
comment?
and a horse.
A goldfish? I think Vinny's a little bit of like a
Dumbest fucking
goldfish.
big animal.
Maybe a bee or something like that. Something buzzing around. You got a lot of energy in there. You're moving around.
Yeah,
You're tired today, but
I
that's
am.
just
I'm
today.
on 4 hours. Yeah, I'm pretty chewed up, but I still got some flavor.
You got movement in you. Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe like an anteater.
Oh,
Ooh.
wild.
I don't know why. That was the first thing that
That was
popped
the
in
first
my
thing.
head.
Because you think
just-
he's not circumcised, huh?
I mean,
How did you know that he's not cut?
I'm cut. Look at my hair.
Zach, you're like a lion to me with that mane. You know, I think you got a lion. So
That would be a
lion,
nice-
goldfish.
Heard you.
or
Combo.
or an
Goldfish.
anteater lion combo. That would actually be
Anteater.
a
Well, and what's funny is that already exists. It's called a lionfish.
And that would be the name of your podcast.
In
Yeah.
MGM
Lionfish.
Gold.
I also
Lion.
don't
The
think you
lion.
can pick two cool animals. That wouldn't be fun, right?
No.
If
You're
we're
guys,
deciding
you
this.
guys are two
Bear
cool
shark.
animals.
That's our
true,
last
yeah.
names.
I know.
That is a pretty badass thing, though. A wolf hawk. That's like a wolf with wings. You get the fuck out of here.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Exactly. Or the other way around.
Or a hawk with legs.
Hawk with
yeah.
legs.
And a tail.
and sharp teeth. You
Yeah.
know?
And bloodthirsty.
Chomper. Yeah, bloodthirst.
Yeah, that's also why
wolf-
we named it Wolf Hawk.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll become controversial now that people are upset about the wolf reintroduction. You know.
No, I
man.
don't think it will.
Yeah, one of my buddies is real mad about that. He goes,
People get
"Oh,
so mad
good
about
thing
it."
you saw that moose, because them wolves is going to eat all them."
you
Hike-
good thing you saw it now.
Yeah.
Hiker has such a great bit about that where he's just like, I live in New York, but I came home for Christmas, and everyone in New York's all fired up about Palestine, and everyone in Colorado's all fired up too. about wolves.
Yeah. We can't go international here in Colorado. We just got to see what's outside the window.
But he brings up this great point that's like really funny that like that most of the people that voted for the wolves
Sure.
are liberals that live in the cities where they're not going to release any wolves.
Right.
So
They'll never
it's
be in
kind of-
contact with any wolves.
It's kind of funny. Like his whole thing is like the liberals are like, oh yeah, you want to fuck with us? Release the wolves.
Release the wolves is so funny. That's such a funny combination of words.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's incredible.
He's fucking. It's gonna be a great like 7-minute joke. I feel like. when
Oh
it's
yeah,
done.
100%.
Yeah, it's a hilarious. I mean, the whole fact that it all came about through a voter thing. I mean, it's strange times we're in. You know what I mean? It's like people voted, like conservation. The government is so bad at it. We had to like vote to force them to like do environmental shit. That's
Yeah.
crazy to me in a way. You know?
No, but
Yeah.
I think that happens a lot, right? With other agriculture stuff. I mean, even we were talking about today when I went to school for equine science. And the reason that they told us to like pretty much that the horse industry would be kind of like not great for at least 10 to 15 years is because they outlawed
Glue?
slaughterhouses.
Oh.
Glue.
So
yeah,
yes,
basically.
so slaughterhouses in the U.S. and they were like, "This is going to completely plummet it. It's not going to be good for a long time. We have too many unwanted horses. All the prices on horses are going to go down. There's not going to be enough jobs in the industry. Go and do stuff in animal science because food is food, and we'll always have food." You know,
yeah.
and I feel like that was also a push where a bunch of people voted for it that didn't understand why it's a problem.
Oh yeah, they were just like stop
But they were
killing
like,
horses.
wouldn't you want to not kill horses? Wouldn't you want to let wolves go? Wouldn't you want to do these things? And it's hard to do all the research on every single thing.
Wow. So when you always would say equine science, I'd be like, oh, she was going to like be a veterinarian. I didn't know it was like you were learning to make stuff out of horses.
No. no.
You were like, let's get in the lab. Let's melt
Okay.
these horses down and see what we can make.
That
And, they were
is-
like,
Milk the horse?
and then right before you graduated, they're like, hey, you can't melt horses anymore.
Turns out you can't melt them down.
You can't melt down hooves and see what you can make anymore. So we don't know what the fuck you're going to do.
Oh, you
No.
said melt them.
Yeah,
God
yeah.
damn it. I've been milking this fucker.
Yeah. I thought we were talking about milking too.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be the new oat milk. No.
It's healthy.
Tastes like horse semen.
Yeah. Equine science is mainly there is pre-vet and then it's reproduction, nutrition, behavior,
And horsehair mattresses.
and killing and murder. And so yes, I went to school more for like I really liked the behavior part. I realized I was very bad at the reproduction and the nutrition part because it's a lot of science.
Lot of
Well,
jerking.
fucking horses.
You really got to get the angles right.
Yeah. You got to hold on for dear life.
Yeah, they did make us watch them jerking off horses like multiple times. Multiple times. That was like week 1. They
Oh
like
my god.
What's
that's
the
hilarious.
trajectory of that horse shot?
So, well, I don't know what the force is. I don't know what the actual force is. What they do is they bring in so they have a female horse that is in heat, and then they bring in the male horse, and he goes over and sniffs her.
Yeah,
And
I
he's
know
like,
that. I know
let's
that game."
fucking go, dude.
Yeah, dude, I was in
Drops
junior
that big
high.
old dong, jumps onto this metal, like, bar, pretty much. Like, it's almost like,
Oh, so they pull the lady away.
do you know in
Oh, dude.
Yeah. The
Charlie
lady is
Brown.
yeah, she's safe. She's safe. Yeah, they
Pull a
Charlie
middle
Brown.
football.
He jumps on this like big metal thing. He humps it.
Right.
And then it is somebody's job that has a helmet on.
Okay.
They put a helmet on the person, and they're holding
ski goggles,
no goggles. They got to be able to see.
motorcycle helmet. With
We should do this.
And then they take a artificial vagina. And it's an artificial vagina, and it's like a big, like
Human.
circular.
Randy, bring out the vagina. Stop using your mouth.
Bring out the pocket pussy.
And they make it like warm. If there's like water in it and stuff, they make it like warm. Like it's like
it's a horse
like,
fleshlight.
It's a
Yeah.
horse fleshlight. They run in with the horse fleshlight, throw it right on that dong. He comes.
How quick?
They're not horsing around.
They're not horsing around there.
They get right
Shame
to it.
him.
Oh, now, what do you want the answer to be?
I'm
What do
just
Do you want it to be
curious.
What would-
fast, or do you want it to be?
I just
Well,
want
it'd
to
make
know.
me feel better if it was
It was fast. Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess it can't be that long.
No, it's
No.
like 10, 15 seconds. It's not
10,
long.
15 seconds?
Probably,
Dude,
because
I'm a fucking
he's up there.
stud.
Yeah, they get 3 thrusts. That's it.
Well, you got to think about it like
In the wild, you're trying to come as fast as you can. You're trying to come before the other stallion
Yeah.
comes and scoops your jizz out.
or she gets fucking pissed and just breaks your legs too.
she's
Like
like,
she
"God
might
damn
be
it."
mad.
oh,
You're
she
my
can just
brother.
kick your legs and
I
break
mean,
them.
I mean, she could. Well, you know
Have
what?
you
Actually,
seen this?
no. But with dogs and stuff like that, like when they get stuck,
Dogs
you know?
getting fucked by horses?
No, wrong again.
Horse dog.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy for them to break
Horse
your.
dog with power cock.
That is what you guys would be. You guys would be horse dog.
Horse
Or
dog,
wolf
power
hawk.
cock. No, man.
I'd listen to that podcast.
Horse
Yeah,
dog,
yeah.
power cock.
We guys, we should start a new podcast.
In the morning. Burger.
No,
That does sound like a morning guy's show. Like that would have been a morning DJ's name if they didn't have to be somewhat clean.
yeah,
Be like,
100%.
"Welcome. Good morning. It's horsecock and fucking
Yeah.
It's
If
horse
only.
cock.
an
It's
ass
power
to ass
dog
dog
hour.
stucker.
Coming up next, we've got a twofer from Pink Floyd. Lay the cock down. Bow.
That's amazing. Let's go, dude. I love this.
Dude, is that cheese?
Yeah. So. No.
No, that's
It's
music.
Yeah.
yeah. It's
All
seconds
right, man, I'm
because you got
getting
to think
soft.
about
Let's
this.
talk about this horse dick.
Yeah,
more.
horse dick. You got to think about it. She might move or she might leave. Like it's in the wild, and she probably could easily break his penis too. I mean, it's not.
yeah.
And that happens with dogs. Sometimes dogs get stuck.
It's just like a human woman.
Yeah. And
Very
if they
dangerous.
move too fast, if she's not into it, if she's not fully into it, and she's out of there, they can easily break their penis.
How can you tell if they're really into it? Like, what do you got to do as a horse to be like, hey, are you into this?
I
Because
mean, I
there's
think
no.
you gotta
I
get her
guess just
flowers.
Not run away.
Yeah, maybe have a couple glasses of wine.
Edible arrangement, mostly apples,
Yeah.
Ask her how
carrots.
her
I
day
brought you.
is.
I brought you some
Oats.
oats. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to sow your wild oats.
Gotta bring
And
the
so
oats.
yes, that is a thing. And then they capture it, and then they sell it for a lot of money. It's like a very real thing that they do.
Yeah, I've heard the racehorse jizz is pretty.
Racehorse jizz is like, I mean, thousands,
Well, the
hundreds
genetics.
of
The genetics,
thousands,
right?
Yeah.
The top cow at the stock show this year.
What did it bring?
These were the ones raised by kids.
Yeah.
Was like 180K.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very real thing.
Yeah,
It's insane.
There's big money in that.
In those
jizz.
show cows, we
Yeah.
went to the stock show. We saw them.
I've seen those canisters, like the bull jizz.
The bull
When
jizz
they
canisters?
They ship them because they'll
Yeah.
ship them through UPS. When I used to work there, you'd see these weird canisters
You're
come
like, what
through.
the fuck is that?
Yeah, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And someone was like, "Oh, it's bull semen," and that's what it's a prize.
That
bull.
makes
And
sense.
that's what the Stanley cups are based off of. They
Yeah.
look the same.
You don't want that Gatorade dumped on you.
I mean, my friend, she bred two of her horses, and I think they were like, I think it was like $4,000 a pop.
yeah.
For each one, and then they did artificial insemination, and I think one horse took and one horse didn't.
God damn it! I went to school for the wrong shit, dude.
But I don't. That's not even like high dollar. That's like normal.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
fish
tell
jizz
us
going
about
for
tell
these
us
days?
about jerking off fish.
Fish way less fun to jerk off.
Yeah, you just
it's-
squeeze the jizz out of them,
You
right?
squeeze them, yeah, and sometimes the males.
Just like AJ.
Squeeze me.
Okay, so goldfish was not far off. Just so we can go back to that.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I'm going belly
when you
up.
do fish, they'll just when you just grab them, if when they're like flopping around, they'll just start coming all over the place.
Well, yeah, because they're like, I'm gonna die, so I'm just gonna come.
Yeah, probably.
Angel lust.
Yeah. They also don't have to worry about breaking their penises.
No, it's all external for
It's
fish.
a cloaca.
Wait, internal.
Yeah,
Okay.
base. Well, I don't even. I guess it's
Oh, no.
not quite because cloaca's for bird. It's just a vent.
Yeah,
it's just,
dude.
you know,
That-
Well, they shit, piss, and come out of the same hole.
pretty
right?
much. Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
Zach. Oh, okay. He's upset about that.
No,
Did you get
Hey,
mad about
come on, I was a fish. Now you're a bird.
that? All right.
But
Dropping
yeah,
eggs.
they just and they they kind of lay the eggs and the male they call it oh man they call
Wait.
it milt in
Oh,
fish
yeah.
farming.
Milton.
Milt.
Milton.
Milt. So wait a second. They put the eggs
Chocolate
down.
milk.
In the
cum
wild-
goes on top.
in
and
the
then
wild,
the eggs hatch.
Like as the female is laying the eggs, the dude is trying to like basically jizz on it as it
it's
as it
happening.
comes out. That's
Yeah.
Okay.
pretty
Right.
much. So they're trying to put their holes as close together as they can, you know. And it's
Aren't we
like a
all,
f-
baby?
Like a frat.
We all.
So yeah, I mean, really, if you guys were gonna title your show accurately after animals, you would be horsefish.
We would be horsefish. Yeah. As our specialty is horsefish.
Specifically catfish. I went to the school, like at Auburn where I went to school.
They're like, what kind of fish are you gonna major in?
Yeah.
But catfish farming was like
The weird
industry that like, you know, a lot of our stuff like started in, you know, because
Yeah.
that used to be big business down there.
Yeah.
In the South. It still kind of is, but crawfish to some extent too. You know, they started.
Do they sell a lot of catfish at restaurants? Is that like a barbecue?
Yeah, fried
restaurants?
South
catfish.
eats catfish
A lot,
everywhere.
right?
Oh yeah, like a fried catfish sandwich.
Yeah.
Or
Middle of
Oh,
the country
boy.
too. Kansas, they were really big.
They
on,
liked that?
Like bullhead. Like
Oh.
man, they would
What?
pull those fucking gnarly things out, cut the heads off, and then nail them to like poles.
Oh, yeah, to, like,
and
rip
then
the
you go to
skin
school and go, Jesus, Johnson got a big one.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's kind of
yeah, that's
sadistic,
very
but
very rural America.
yeah. I mean, huge fucking heads on these catfish.
What's the thing called where you stick your hand?
Noodling, baby.
Noodling. That's cool. That's something I only learned about in the last few years.
Have you ever done it?
I have, yeah.
That's wild.
Well, and actually, when you work in like a catfish farm, you basically have to do that all the fucking time.
Why is that? That's how you're.
Well, because when, like, when you noodle catfish, they're reproducing, so they like to like lay eggs in a hollow log or something, or in like a hole in the bank.
And they guard them, and then when you stick your hand in, they bite your hand.
They bite your hand.
So actually, one of
Yeah.
my early jobs when I worked at school, I would like volunteer and sometimes work on the farm, and they would have containers in the pond to let the catfish reproduce in, and I have to go in there and reach in to see if they'd laid eggs yet, just like to
Okay.
feel.
And so they bite you.
And they would bite. Yeah, they would often bite you.
But they don't have teeth.
They kind of do, but like little sandpapery. You know?
Like, has it one ever broke your skin?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's more like it's like rubbed off. You know, it's like imagine you like rubbed your hand across sandpaper. You know what
But
I
is
mean?
it? So are these catfish getting the size of like channel cat?
Yeah, these are channel cats is the ones that they farm, but they're not super big because once they get older, they don't they can get diseases and they don't lay as many eggs. But we're talking maybe like 10-pound catfish.
Yeah.
You know, like 5 to
Dang.
10 pounds.
I just feel like the thing with noodling, what I hate about it is that you can't see under the water.
Yeah.
And
All feel.
who knows what alligator, snake,
Oh,
this,
alligator
that,
guard.
whatever is in there waiting for you and not the fish. And that's what I hate about it.
Yeah, one time we had a guy. There was a turtle in one time, and we had a.
Turtles don't even scare me nearly as much as
Snapping
anything.
turtles will bite your fingers off.
This was a soft shell
insane,
turtle. This
dude.
was a soft shell turtle that was in there, and as soon as somebody pulled it out, actually, we had a bunch of foreign exchange students from Asia.
Eat
and
it.
Soft shell turtle's a delicacy over there, and they went. Like everybody was like freaking out. They're like, "Oh my god, a soft shell turtle! Like, can we?" Like everybody wanted it. Like the professor.
So is the shell soft?
Yeah, yeah. It's like a leathery little shell.
No.
Yeah.
Weird.
So it's
I
not
hate
a
it.
hard-shelled turtle.
No, I mean like it is hard, but it doesn't have like the armored plate. You know, it's like spongy on the outside. But I'm pretty sure when they cook it, they like eat the whole thing. It's
Whoa.
like and it like breaks. It's like cartilaginous.
Oh, weird.
That's a fun word, right?
Yeah.
That's a cool
I like
word.
that.
I wouldn't say it because I mess it.
Cartilaginous.
I just like the idea that there's like people from Asia that came here and they're like, yeah, Americans are crazy. They fish with their arms.
And also sometimes a fish can pull you under the water. People like drown that way, right?
Noodling. Oh,
Yeah.
Those big guys.
It's very
What?
dangerous.
It's insane. I also just
Really?
assume
Yeah,
Fish will drown a
they'll
person?
drown people.
Oh,
But
yeah.
those fucking bullheads are gnarly.
Yeah, flatheads.
Well, I
That's
know.
a very
I
real
mean, the
thing.
biggest catfish I ever caught was like 600 pounds, right?
Yeah, not in the U.S. though. But in
Is
the
in
U.S.
China.
they get above 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so 100 pounds of pulling you down and,
And
has
like
your
you can
hold
get
on your arm.
like tangled up or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're reaching under a tree root or underneath a piece of concrete or like a you know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's
muddy.
muddy water too. It's gross. I hate water that you cannot see through.
Yeah,
Also,
I have.
catfish are
I've
kinda-
seen Jaws. I have the fear. Like
You have the fear
like
too.
when I can't see what's under the water
I
and
hate
I'm
that.
out there swimming, I don't.
I
fucking
fell
like
into
it.
the water when I was in Australia kayaking, and I was like, oh, a snake is gonna eat me. Like that's the only option here.
Yeah, so like falling into the water in a kayak here, I'd still be like, God, what's in here? But in Australia, I would
God.
be shitting and pissing
No,
myself.
I was like, this is it. Like, this
Death.
is what it is. And they take students. It's going to be that story where they're like, yeah, we take students out there for the last 10 years, and all of a sudden, one
We never
person
had
died. You know?
American.
Yeah, stupid American fucking died.
Well, I heard another story. Like, so there was a water slide, the tallest one in the world.
And I don't do shit like that. I know where this is going. I don't do shit like that. Taking off somebody's fucking head while they're going down a goddamn.
Cut the kid's fucking head off.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
It cut the kid's fucking head off, and the parents were like running, and they're like, and they're trying to go see what happened to their kids, and the guy's like, stay the fuck away, stay the fuck away, and they're like, is my kid dead? Is my kid dead? And they're like, stay the fuck away, and they like, because then the water slide's just a that's a lot of blood.
That's insane.
Coming down a water slide, and they're like, yeah,
damn,
your kid is
dude.
definitely dead, and you don't want to see your kid's fucking head.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
But you do.
oh, what a
Jesus.
Well, there were a lot of injuries in Kansas City when they built that water park near the that NASCAR track. They built one that was it was like a super fast one, and these kids just went down and were fucking rocketing off the thing.
into the racetrack.
Into the racetrack? Why did you say it was next
They
to
were
the
getting towed
NASCAR?
in.
I
Well,
needed to know
I got a
why.
kid on my
Well,
windshield, Bob. We're gonna have to
'cause
pull
it's-
in for a
it's
pit
right
stop.
over there by Legends. So what they were trying to do was make this giant entertainment.
Megaplex.
Yeah, like a megaplex. So there was like the soccer field. There's a casino. The
And this is in-
NASCAR track.
where's this?
It's on the Kansas side of Kansas City.
Okay.
And then on the other side of 435, they had built this giant fucking water park, and it was really just like there were like 3 different water slides, and they were like, "This thing is gonna be insane," and it had like a little cover at the beginning when you went down.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then it was wide open. And it was there were like 5 kids that got injured on the first few runs they did and shut it down immediately.
Oh my god, they were barely open.
Yeah,
They just
were-
like tested
there
one
were some-
like bean bag, and they were like, "That should be fine."
Oh yeah.
God,
They didn't account for the shape of the Kansans. They were
Yeah.
more aerodynamic.
They were more bulbous than the testers.
there's a lot of things that I don't like about my brain necessarily, but there is one thing. There's a few things that I really like, and I don't
It
have
attached to your body.
It's attached to my body. We love that, unlike that kid. And also that I don't have
Slide
any
riders.
desire to do water park, to do like roller coaster, like even driving fast in my car. Like I just don't have whatever that is. I can run a horse through the biggest field very, very fast, and I have fun doing that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the
But
extent.
I don't.
It's almost like
I don't have that water park. Like I need to go down the biggest slide in the world.
Yeah.
I like that you're like, I only, when I'm on another living creature,
Yeah.
have the desire.
I'll ride a horse down a water slide.
It's called Jesus Take the Wheel, bitch.
What about, do you guys roller coaster? Are y'all roller coaster-ers?
I can get sick now. I get motion sickness sometimes,
Yeah.
but I will do it.
Well, you're
Yeah.
old.
Yeah. So it's that adrenaline thing where it's like
I don't have the
the
adrenaline thing.
stressful part that knocks cortisol up. Some people really enjoy that.
Yeah. And I'm
I
glad
do roller
I don't.
coasters. I wouldn't say I like love it, but I'll do them.
Yeah.
You know, I've done all that stuff, and I'm here.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think, I will say this. I think I used to do all that stuff, but I don't know if I'm that into it anymore.
I think that there are some people that see it and they go, "Oh fuck yeah, dude,
Like,
let's
I've
go."
done all that shit. I've gone skydiving twice, and like
Okay.
my buddy was talking. He's like, "Let's go again." And you know, and then I'm looking at the articles. Just like 3 days ago, somebody bounced out there.
Great. Jesus.
And yeah, part of me is like, man, I've done this twice. It was scary as fuck. I survived. It was great. But if I'm up there for the 3rd time,
they say third, yeah, right? There's a chance.
this fucking parachute doesn't open, I'm gonna be like, God damn it! You
I
know
already
what
did
this
it.
is like? You know, like
Yeah.
Oopsies.
like the second time I did it, the guy was like, "How long has it been since your last jump?" And I was like, "Oh, like a year or so, year and a half." And he was like, "Oh man, how could you wait that long?" He's like, "I can't." He's like, "I got to jump like every few days, man, or I start losing my mind." And I was like,
Yeah, but it's like stand up. Like
I told him
That's
that.
what his job is. That's why it's his job.
I told him,
He's
I was
doing
like,
it that much.
to be honest, like skydiving feels very similar to killing. like
Murder.
Like people, like
and
killing people.
What are we talking about? Horses.
Glue.
to like
That's what it is.
have like when you have one of those sets where you like walk off adrenaline high as fuck.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's very similar to skydiving. And yeah, like I told him, I was like, man, this is fucking costing me like $200 fucking dollars. Normally I get paid to feel high. Like
Sure.
instead of like this is an expensive fucking high.
You might also want to do it more if you were richer. But when you have to like add in all that money, like I don't want to do it just because I don't want to spend $300 on it. I just don't. I don't have it right now, and I don't want to do it, and I don't have this strong desire to save up and do it. You know?
Yeah.
I do like adventure sports.
Yeah.
I still do. I mean, I do.
You just went snowboarding.
Yeah, well, I went skiing. but
Skiing.
Do you still send it pretty hard, or you just?
So I'll do short sends. Like I did my
Yeah,
my first black diamond, and visibility was extremely poor. And I made some hard turns and took a spill. But it's like also my legs aren't conditioned, so I'm getting jellied. And as soon as I got like I don't know, probably 15 to 30 seconds of hard turns, I had to stop and rest.
Well, moguls on skis are fucking wreck you.
They do. They do. I've never
Well,
done
it's
them.
like if you've seen a skier on moguls, they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just like impact, knees,
Yeah.
knees, impact,
But-
and like,
Right.
After you
Yeah.
get through it and stop, you go, fuck, I made it. Like that's
Oh,
part
yeah.
of it. Is like
That's part of the
Yeah.
adrenaline.
It's also like what a lot of people put themselves in stressful situations. You cannot think. Like
Sure.
when you're going down a steep chute, you can't just go, well, what if I do this? What you can't. You're just in flow. You have to go turn now, turn now, turn now.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you stop and you go, fuck, I'm sore.
Get in the
Right.
zone.
Yeah.
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 Right? And I mean, sometimes it's like that in comedy when you're just popping and you're not thinking about all the bits and you're just in it. It's the best
And you're having
feeling.
fun. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say the same. Like, I don't do winter sports, but I definitely do still. Like, I raft and, like...
Oh, dude, rafting on a good, like, you
like,
know,
I'll-
class
I'll
3?
run, like, a raft and fish sometimes, which is pretty fun, too. Like, where I'm in the middle, like, with the oars and...
Yeah.
You know, my buddies and I trade out. Somebody fly fishes on the front or, like, on the back, you know.
Are you whitewater rafting or are you, like, kayaking down these things?
Like you're whitewater rafting, but then, you know, you like are also trying to like when you're not in the big rapids, you're trying to like put them on a fish or you're trying to like back paddle into a spot, or if somebody hooks a fish, you're trying to like not go down a rapid. You know, you're
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to like just paddle back as hard as you can.
so kayaking in Australia, floating the river, sounds like you guys would you consider yourselves outdoorsy people?
We are outdoorsy people.
Oh, yeah,
but I don't.
absolutely.
That was like, I don't know, 12, 13. No, I guess that was like probably almost 14 years ago that I was doing that. I don't normally do stuff like that. The new thing that I've been doing that I guess I would get an adrenaline rush from is I've been team roping on horseback.
Team roping.
Like in the rodeo.
And like in the rodeo.
Is that like lasso?
Yeah, we're like so you can describe, but there's two people on horseback, right?
Two people on
Are
horseback.
you roping like a calf?
Yeah, like a steer.
Okay.
Yeah. Or a cow, whatever. It doesn't matter. Horns, not a cat, like small.
Not a small one.
Yeah, one with horns.
Okay.
So, and then they'll run out, and then one person throws the rope, gets the head, and pulls them around. The other person gets the heels, and then it's a timed event. So at
You
the
have to
event,
tie them, right? You flip them and tie them.
so you don't. That one is also an event, but that one's calf roping. So that one's where you jump off your horse. I'm not doing the jump off the horse because my knees will never ever be able to do that.
Yeah, no skiing for Liz.
No skiing for Lizzy.
So is it once you've actually stopped the cow or the steer in motion, then your timer stops.
Timer stops, and if you get head and heel, then you qualify.
Oh, I love getting head. I've not tried heels, but I'm down.
I've never gotten healed before. That
Yeah.
sounds fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's gonna be this is the year.
And that's the segment next on this podcast. Everybody's getting healed.
I never thought about that, but if getting a blow or oral is head,
Yeah.
in the front, getting your salad toss would be heel.
Healed would be healed. Yeah.
Or it's like when your partner's like
Yeah.
comedically evil to you.
I had a friend
She's a
though.
wrestling villain.
It's like ruined orgasm.
I had a friend who dated a guy who really liked feet stuff, and she said that she could just take her foot and touch his penis, and he would come. So maybe that's healed.
That's heel.
That's fucking power healing.
Whoa.
just bam, bing
Did
bang, boom.
she have really nice feet or what?
No. Not
Interesting.
bad, but normal, like average looking feet.
I just feel like if I was in a relationship and all I had to do was put my foot on a person's genitals to make them come,
It sounds
that sounds
amazing.
great. Yeah, you're like,
sounds great.
oh, what'd you do? Oh, I put my foot on. Put my foot on his dick. He came everywhere, and then
and then he didn't bother me for 3 hours.
Yeah. He took a nap.
He took a nap.
Probably
He's
feel,
done.
Feel pretty good about myself,
Yeah.
you know? I'd be like, yeah.
I got some things done
Still
after
got it.
healing a couple times.
That's it. That's it. So I've been heading, and that sounds weird. We love to hear that. But yeah, it's a timed event. So you get head, heel,
Holistic
you qualify, and then how fast you did it, you win.
And the timer stops just as soon as both ropes are on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing.
Is
What
there-
where do you
is
go
Tron?
do that at?
Littleton, Colorado. There's a guy out there, and he has like a little horse stable. There's like 20 horses that board there, and then he's got cows. And he's a roper, and so he does roping lessons. So I've always been able to rope on the ground, like a dummy, like just like plastic, you know. And I've always been able to ride. I'm an advanced rider. I used to ride Mustangs up in Wyoming and stuff like that. Like I can do that part. I couldn't put the two and two together. And finally, I just got to a point, especially with doing so much comedy, where you're like, I have to have some sort of self-care. Found this guy, went out there, and he was like, yeah, you're cool. And I'm like, good, great, because he thought I was PETA immediately. He was like, I gotta just check everybody out. And I was like, yeah, if you look at my social media,
Yeah.
I probably look a little weird. I get that. And then I went out there, and he's got an old horse, and I ride that horse, and we've been roping together, and it's super fun.
How much is? Go ahead.
Oh, is it always head first, then heel,
Yeah.
or do you mix them up?
No, head first, then heel.
Okay.
Because when you do the head, it pulls the cow
So you're
around
gonna
a little
drop
bit,
it,
Yeah.
and then the
legs up.
heels kick up, and then when they throw their rope, it kind of like sinks around their heels, and they
Perfect.
almost run into it,
Okay.
and then they pull tight.
Well, yeah, I'm just like, if I wanted to go take a roping lesson, say,
Yeah.
with this fellow, like, how much is a roping lesson?
Oh, now you're gonna go into my finances? I just told you I was broke. What do you now? now people are gonna do the math on
you,
it.
you can do that at
Well,
Club
no,
Friction.
I was just curious, like, because I didn't know this was a thing that you
Oh,
could
yeah.
go take a roping lesson. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just like, I wondered like what it costs to go take a roping lesson from this guy.
like
Obviously,
what you
you're-
pay for therapy
you're,
or something for an hour?
You're doing the
you
roping.
guys take
you know,
Aetna?
like,
Well, he starts it off on the ground, so it's
Yeah.
not you're not riding yet, and it's not like a riding lesson. You know what I mean? So for first, it's just the roping dummy on the ground, and you're kind of figuring it out. It's like layups for basketball. You gotta hit that layup every single time before
But you have a
you
rope,
get in
get
the
on the
game.
horse.
You have a rope,
Yeah.
though. You could probably just take Zach
Yeah,
for
we could
like
just
20,
do that.
30 bucks.
Why don't we just do
Yeah.
that?
I mean,
It's actually $400.
But I'll give you a break.
No, it's
It'll be 200.
It's not, but yes, we could go out there and do that.
I had a little lasso.
Perfect.
And I used to rope the dogs, and they loved it. They're
Really?
like, we're going for a walk.
My dogs, if I take I'm telling you right now, my dogs are terrified of it. If I take my rope out, because I practice in the backyard, I have a roping
Yeah.
dummy, and I practice roping every day. The door's open, they go right back inside. They act like somebody is gonna murder them with these.
Probably don't
ropes.
like the sound of the.
You're right, and you are right, because that is a very real thing. So not only do they don't like the sound, and they don't like the movement of it, and there are different types of roping techniques where you actually go the other way so it doesn't make the sound. So then you can catch like horses and stuff like that. So when you see people like catching horses with a rope, it's a different
They
kind.
spin it Australian style.
Yeah, like the toilets.
So I like this idea. This sport sounds good, but I want to pitch this idea to Red Bull. We're going to take your roping and we're going to knock it up. We're
Okay.
going to get a bull.
What?
Right? We're going to get a prize bull, big
Okay.
horns. We're going to...
You want me to rope a
you're like,
bull?
No, no, no.
What?
We're going to cinch up its nutsack like you're going to ride it in a rodeo, right? And you guys are going to have lassos. You're going to head heel this thing. Here's the catch.
I do both.
You're going to be on Shetland ponies.
Oh man.
What about on bikes?
Yeah.
Dude, fuck it.
Urban style, you know?
You're on mountain bikes.
Well, AJ wants me to die, which is fun too.
I have a tandem bicycle.
Yeah, you ride the
Two
bicycle,
people.
I rope on the back.
It's a real Charlie Chaplin situation.
Yeah, I just imagine like you have to have when you're doing that, the music's like da 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 da.
And then the screen goes black, and it's like, that one was close.
We could try to do that. We could get like a small rope, and maybe we'll get a video of it.
That'd
edit
be
it.
hilarious.
Yeah,
That's how you
We
can
need it for
learn.
Wolf
You
Hawk
can learn on a
content.
bike.
yeah.
Dude, you go out in a raft and
Yeah.
pretend to like I guess
Yeah.
you can't really heal a fish, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can. You can heal a fish, right?
can
I
you?
don't know.
No,
you
you
can
can't.
tail
it.
You
You
can
tail it.
lasso a fish.
You could lasso a
Head
fish.
and tail?
You can shoot them with a bow and arrow. That's pretty close. It's similar.
Okay. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not killing the cows. In case anybody was wondering, I'm not murdering the cows.
You're bruising up the beef.
They're fine, right?
No.
They,
Zach, here's
they
what
like
we'll do.
it.
We'll practice on the ground with my stuff, and then I'll bring you out to Luke's, and we can do it together.
All right.
Because then you can video when I'm doing it, and then I can use that as content later.
Yeah.
So that'll be my trade.
And then
Okay.
then we need someone to dress up as the bull. And then
Okay.
Zach and I will head and heal them.
So, yeah, my buddy,
That's you. You're
we're
dressing up as the
We
bull.
got a 2-man
Oh,
bull
man.
costume.
my buddy's.
There's no way. I'm going to get cum on me again.
I know. We're gonna wrap up your balls, motherfucker.
I like that.
Somebody heal me.
How'd you think I got that big nut before?
Let's go, dude. Amazing.
So-
But yeah, we can do that for sure.
So, have either of you ever eaten LSD?
I have, yeah.
Yep. Right before the show.
I ate acid one time at a. One time I ate 3 at once. That's the most that I ever did.
That's a good move.
Is that a lot? That's a lot.
It depends on the potency, but it can
Yeah,
be
it depends
it's a
on the
strong
acid.
move.
It was, yeah. I was really.
But if it's bad acid, that's going to be
it was at
a
a
decent amount. And if it's good acid, that could be too much.
it was at a
Okay, that makes sense.
it was
That
at a
makes sense, yeah.
festival, and I basically just tripped really hard like the whole day.
So you went all 3 at the same time. It wasn't like I'm going to eat one and then booster.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. My buddy was like,
Elliot is also an alcoholic.
Yeah,
so
I'm
he's
sort of an
sober
addictive
now,
person,
but he has
you know?
a bit of an addictive personality. So,
but also I was
go
just sort of
3.
handed
Yeah.
3, and I was like, should I do them all at once? And the guy I was with was like, I mean, I'm probably going to do at least that many. So I was like, all right.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't.
Was that
I don't
the first
think,
time you'd done it?
No, I had done it a couple of
Okay.
times before, so I kind of knew what I was
I was
in
about to say,
for.
because that guy's a dick. If
I know
that's
that's your
And-
first time.
And and it was, yeah, it was. But I saw, I mean, I tripped pretty hard, and then Cheese had like 2 sets that we saw,
Oh, wait a minute.
kind of
now.
as the sun was going down. So it was.
Oh,
It was
now
a-
he is really
It
hard.
was a
Actually,
good. It was a good time to be tripping that hard. You know. Yeah.
that's when
That
AJ's dick goes up.
That does sound like Kyle Hollingsworth.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, I really never did it a whole bunch of times though. I mean, that was maybe the 4th or the 5th time I did acid, and I can say I probably really just discovered mushrooms after that,
Yeah.
and was kind of like, or I went back to mushrooms. I was like,
They can be more manageable, I think.
yeah.
What festival
I think
were
it's
you at?
easier to take a small amount of mushrooms than a small amount of acid.
That makes
Absolutely.
sense.
This was at the Hangout Fest, which
Oh,
is
down south.
down in Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in college, it's on the
Is that Gulf Shores?
Yeah, it's like on the beach, and they basically just have like one big stage kind of on one side of the beach, and then like a long way, and there's kind of a stage on the other
Yeah.
side. And then, at least back then, it might be a bigger festival
year?
now. This was like one of the first years that it had happened, and so it wasn't even like a camping festival at that point. But I was staying with somebody that had somebody he knew, or friend had like a rental house down there. So
Okay.
That's
we
great.
had a place to stay that was like pretty close. Wasn't quite walking distance, but I think we did end up walking back that night, and it was doable. It was a pretty,
It's
Because you
pretty
were
long
stoned.
walk.
Because you were high.
We were so high.
Yeah, you
and-
were high. You were like, this is a
And
great
the parking
walk.
lot and everything was like all a clusterfuck getting out of there. And we're like, well, it's only like 4 miles.
Turns into 4 hours. and
Yeah.
You're like, everything's amazing.
But yeah, we probably walked for an hour. This is a pretty good distance.
Yeah.
So you've been to quite a few music festivals. Cheese obviously sounds like you like
Yeah,
jam
yeah.
music.
I've seen when I was young. I definitely got taken to a good number of. I saw Widespread Panic a couple times. Growing up in the South, I had a friend that really
Strong
loved.
Southern jam band.
Yeah, I've seen Panic 2 or 3 times. I've seen Cheese maybe twice. I saw Fish twice.
Yeah. I like Panic
Weird
fans
for a
get
guy who
wild.
majored in it.
Yeah, I know, right? Should have seen him more.
Where's the fun?
But yeah, I saw, and I guess I have, I have a couple friends that I was in school with. They're still like big fish heads. Like they they used to come see it. You know, they see 5 or 6 shows a year. They're like married now, but that's still their thing. Even though I think they have a kid, they still, you know, go to shows.
I think
and
once it's
stuff
your
and, you know.
personality, it's always your personality, right?
Yeah, I talked to a guy when I was in Steamboat.
Come on.
People
and
change.
He got married and he lost it 4 days on his wife because they were driving somewhere like 4 hours away, and he hit a bowl and she was like, I don't like it when you smoke and drive. And then she goes, and this is giving me a headache. And he was fine with that. She turned the cheese down, and he goes, I left black marks on the highway. And he goes, you don't fucking touch that radio. And he goes, ever since then, she's like, is it cool if I turn that down? And I was like, I back what you did, but this is also very abusive.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say he left black marks on her face.
Whoa.
No, good fan.
He's a speak guy.
Great fan base.
But yeah, I mean, I would say I haven't seen a jam band in a while, but
You want to change that?
I actually was thinking I might try to go see
Let's go.
Fish this year.
So Grateful Dead is going to be doing, our Dead & Co. is going to be doing the Sphere.
18.
yeah.
They're doing 18 shows.
They're doing 420, aren't they?
No, Fish is.
Fish is 420.
Yeah, they've got a residency. They're doing, I think, 4 or 5 nights.
Wow.
But Dead & Co. is doing May and June with an 18-day residency.
Wow.
18-day residency. Where?
How much are tickets?
So
Because you've looked, right?
You've
I did look, but
Yeah.
the thing is, I
I'd
also,
be willing to pay to go there because I want to see something in the Sphere, and I don't want to fuck you too.
I also like I had several friends call me and they're like, "When are we going?" And I was like, "I'm buying Red Rocks tickets for Cheese, so I'm going to be tapped for a minute." Tickets are $99 up to $298. That's for a single night.
When are they on sale?
They're already on sale. Pre-sales
Okay.
already happened. So here's the problem. With the Sphere, you have to make sure you know where you're seating, like where your seat
Oh.
is. Because in the 100 rows, which is the bottom row, you have a great view of the stage. But if you can only see the stage, it bypasses why you're at the Sphere, which is all the psychedelic shit happening all around you for
Around
the
you.
immersiveness. So I think it's rows. It's in the 100 range, and it's like 24 to the 30, somewhere back there. What happens is you're underneath the like the balcony section, so you can see the stage, but you can't really see above you. So it kind of, in my opinion, it kind of defeats the purpose.
So you got to
You
know.
either got to spend money, get good
So
tickets.
it's
or-
absolutely like if you're gonna go, like you're somewhere, you've got to be in that 200 range.
I mean, I
to
think
make it worth it.
we could go for the podcast.
Ooh, do a little write-off, baby.
Man.
Get a little content.
Yeah, I don't know if you've realized this, AJ, but the jam shows that you go to are kind of business related now.
They're definitely.
You're going to talk about it on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, write-off.
I will
Bam,
tell you
go.
this: if
And
you like,
we do promo at the shows. You can give out cards and like
That's
it's
true.
just-
Bring
I
a
mean,
camera
that's
and
all-
get some video of you guys.
And
Put
then-
together like a little
Yeah.
fun video.
Oh, I mean, we have videos. Our first Patreon episode
Yeah.
was the last Dead show.
oh, do you guys do
I'm
Patreons? We're going to do a
curious.
Patreon.
Yeah, y'all did the giveaway, didn't you? Do the
we did, we gave away tickets to the last Dead show.
That's amazing. I love
We
that.
should do a giveaway for the Sphere.
Yeah, we'll have to find out because I also need to look at. I just looked at the pricing and it said $99 to $298 today. Because a friend of mine was
That's
like, they're $200 on the low.
less
end.
expensive than like what I thought.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think
I would
that's
I
expect
figured they were
it.
going to be $500. A
I
ticket.
was expecting
So-
like $400 or $500.
And I'd have to do more research. I know this. I know the Fish tickets were $200 on the bottom end.
on the bottom end. Yeah,
the
yeah,
bottom
yeah.
end.
Yeah.
That seems. I feel like their shows. Like when I saw them back in the day, that was part of it too. I feel like it wasn't that expensive when I was younger. You know, it was like
they're kind of gouging tickets a lot. I mean, even Red Rocks is getting high.
yeah.
You know,
but
that used
comedy
50,
shows are
60
getting
bucks.
gouged on Ticketmaster and stuff like that too.
Oh, yeah.
It's all of
Valid.
them.
They're taking
Yeah.
so many fees.
And they're,
Yeah,
the
to go
comics aren't
see-
getting that
to
money.
go see Mike Birbiglia is like $60 with the
Right.
fees
And
are
is that-
$70. Like, and I'm like, I love that dude, but like,
Yeah.
I have a problem paying over $50 to
Yeah.
fucking see anybody.
Well,
really.
dude, last year you could get $39 tickets in the nosebleeds, and you
Right.
could still see.
See everything. Yeah. That makes a big difference for sure.
So we got a little sidetracked.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, have you ever been like fucking just riding a horse as fast as you can go on LSD or what?
It was actually at the same time as Elliot. I took 3 tabs also. I got on a horse.
Yeah.
He watched the band.
And
I don't know
after
why
she
we didn't
came
stay
down, it was
together.
like, I'm just on a horse in front of a grocery store.
because I'm not gonna lie, I've done a lot of things tripping, but I've never like ridden on a living beast.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it
would
seems
probably
like
be
it would
insane.
be wild.
I feel like I should do that. I've been drunk on the back of a horse, but I've never. I honestly, I'm not really a drug. I'm not like really that much of a drug person. Not necessarily. I just think that my body maybe doesn't totally connect with it.
Yeah.
Well, and
You know.
does narcolepsy affect like shit like that?
Right, so I'm a narcoleptic. I think the way that it affects it is that, like, if I get too stoned on pot, I just get tired and I can't really control it at that point.
Yeah.
And so I do sleep a lot of it off. So there was, like, a time where I would smoke more weed, but then I would just take a nap afterwards because my body is just, like, it
I used to
can't
do that,
figure out. Yeah.
It would
Yeah.
smoke enough, you know.
I smoke enough, for sure.
I did that today.
Yeah.
I wish that happened to me. I fucking get cracked out.
I do
Really?
nowadays.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
I'm
just
I
like,
do. Yeah, I get kind of
Edibles do that to me.
wired a
Edibles,
little
I don't
bit.
like
Yeah.
doing like marijuana edibles because it's just, yeah, like it won't even let me go to sleep at a certain point, and I know that I need to sleep it off to get it out of my system.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the past, I have done like coke and Molly and things like that bring you up.
I feel like Molly riding a horse would be cool.
Molly
too.
would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel like one with the horse the whole time.
Yeah,
but
you're
I
like
guess you can do that on
petting the
mushrooms
horse,
too.
you
feeling it.
Yeah.
You're like not even going anywhere, just like petting the mane.
Yeah.
But you gotta. Why don't you give the horse a little Molly? Let
Yeah.
it enjoy what's happening on. Maybe it
Everybody
wants to know
have
what
fun.
it
Give
really
the horse
feels
some
like.
ketamine. You know?
So I have encountered horses on acid.
No.
Yeah.
Like you saw them.
Yeah, like there's a fence and there's a horse.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were on acid.
How did you know?
You should have seen the pupils on
Maybe
this.
I'm high. Actually, I thought you meant the horses on acid.
It does sound that way.
I've only rode a horse like twice, but I really like them, and I
They're great.
lived like so where my dad lived. There was like a farm that kind of bordered it with a fence, and there was horses out in that pasture. So like I would always go out back, and they would come over, and I'd pet them, and we'd shoot the shit or whatever, and. Yeah, and then there was like some cows too that I don't know. I like horses and cows. They're usually pretty friendly.
They're pretty chill.
Large animals are. There's something powerful about being near them.
Yeah, and they're also sweet and kind, and when they're letting you pet them, because you know that they're also like they're not predators, so they technically their brain is telling them to run away from you. So when they're
Yeah.
kind and nice to you, it's sweet.
I found that like cows to be very docile most of the time.
Pretty chill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, you want to feel bad about eating beef? Meet a cow.
Yeah.
Especially you look them in their eyes.
Yeah, dude.
Big old fucking hey.
Yeah. Just hey.
They're just so.
I
they're-
got too
they're
many
kinda like,
stomachs to
They're
make
just smart
sense.
enough to have character. You know what I mean? They're like.
yeah, they're not vicious or vindictive in any way.
Well, yeah, horses remind
How
me
many
of
stomachs
dogs.
did you say they have?
Right. They've got several, don't they?
Several.
4 compartments. Yeah.
4.
I said
One's-
5. I was only one off.
One stomach, 4 compartments.
One
Sure.
stomach, 4 compartments.
I spent a lot of money on a degree that
Lizzy's
I did not
Lizzy's
finish.
like, let me use this degree. Let me use this fucking degree. All
No,
right?
I didn't finish it.
I've
we
been
just
waiting
talked about
for this moment.
I learned 3 things at school. I spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's cool though. So when you were on acid, did you ride the horse? Did you just jump on a
No,
horse's
I
back?
never rode a horse. I
you
just
just
would.
hung
I
out
would
with
just
one.
like pet it.
Yeah. I love
Yeah,
that.
or just
That sounds
like,
pretty
or
fun.
pick some grass and then like hold it up and they come over and eat it and you can pet them.
My plan eventually, when my comedy career takes off, because we do know that will happen, is that okay. I hate that nobody else thought that was fun. Is to buy a farm. So once I have a farm and I have horses out there, you want to eat acid and then ride the horse, we can do that. You just have to wait until someone picks me up or I get more followers than 1,500.
Gajillion.
Sorry, I was breaking up some weed. Do that again. When my comedy career takes off. Say it again. We'll edit this.
You can ride a horse on acid at my farm. I'm going to buy a farm, dude.
Say it. We got to here. We'll cut from here. When my comedy career
God.
takes off.
When my comedy career takes off,
There we go. I was wondering which button you
or
had for
I
that.
kill myself. That's what it'll sound like.
But
Oh no!
but in
This
the
new button.
being around the horses, did you ever encounter wild mushrooms? Because they sometimes grow on.
Yeah.
horse shit.
Or cow shit.
Cows, yeah.
Cow shit.
So when I was a kid, we got this it's mycology, right? Mm-hmm. This mycology book, and identified that there was like these mushrooms that grew out of cow and horse shit or whatever, and we went out by.
Because you can find cow pies everywhere.
Man, this episode
Patty
is really
flipping.
coming together. We went out by where the Waterslide Park is in Rapid, and then there's a field with horses there. And we went out there at like 4 a.m. after like a night of drinking 5 a.m. because that's like in the morning when there's the most prevalent. And we found so many fucking mushrooms.
Yeah.
And they were all different kinds, and we picked a shitload of them, and we went back to my buddy's place and ate a bunch of them, and nobody got sick. We weren't sure if we tripped, and yeah, we didn't really find them in the book even. So very risky thing.
Well, I'm glad you guys
we
didn't
really rolling the
die.
dice.
A lot of those patty mushrooms, though, kind of little guys when
Yeah.
you're flipping them.
Yeah, I don't know. I also went to Bongathon one year, and then there was like, yeah, which was like the. Are you guys familiar with Bongathon?
No.
So they did it for like 30 years.
Is it
But-
telethon to save the bong?
No, it's a weed smoking competition.
Nice. I
Where
love that.
everybody has the same bong. Like, you know, if you enter the competition, it costs like a certain amount of money, and then they give you a certain amount of weed, and you have a.
It's like a hot dog eating
bong.
contest.
Yeah. So and then it's like quarter, half ounce, and then there's like team.
You got to smoke all of it?
events, and you got to it's whoever
And
smokes
just how to
it
smoke it the fastest?
Yeah.
Or the least number of hits?
the fastest.
Okay.
Wild.
So it's just like people just ripping through weed as fast as they can, and it's kind of a spectacle to watch.
It sounds like it.
But man, so all these people are really into
Elliot
weed.
wants to do it. Do you see his face right now? He wants to
do
do
you want to
it.
compete?
He wants to do it. He's
think
like,
they-
I would for sure do
I don't
I
that.
think they
lungs
still might
anymore.
do it. It's like a private event out by South Park, but they have bands, and then like it became kind of like a festival.
That's crazy.
And but where I was interested in, there's like 10 of us there that were drunks, and they had a wall of free beer that you had your own access to.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like me and 10 other people that are like, fuck this weed smoking competition. This is how much can we drink this weekend?
Yeah. This is how many beers to get our money's worth. I love that.
But
I love
somebody was picking mushrooms around there. There's a ton of like fresh picked mushrooms floating around that I think were good.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not doing this game again.
In college,
But-
in Auburn, a lot of people used to pick them. It was just kind of like that area was good.
I had
So
a
you
friend that lived
could
in
see
South
'em.
Carolina, and I mean, it was plentiful.
Yeah,
Wait.
you'd see them from time to time. People would be like, they'd find them, or they'd come,
they'd
come
trip?
through town. Oh yeah, because they're like a native mushroom to the south.
you know what
Mushrooms are
kind they were?
poisonous. People don't worry about that.
Cubensis.
Kimbinzi's.
You just got to know what you're looking. But the thing is, the big test with any of those mushrooms is the quick thump.
The
You
blue.
you do the thump to see if the blue shows up, and that
Blue or
lets you know
purple.
There might be poison in it.
That is
No,
not.
the bruising is the psilocybin.
There's a lot of mushrooms that does not apply
Yeah,
to.
you-
And bruising,
there's a little
you,
more
you
involved,
want
but
to
yeah.
you want to research what you don't. Disclaimer.
Do you know how I was saying before that noodling scares me because you can't see under the water?
yeah.
yeah.
Eating mushrooms in the
Well, yeah, you
wild
should
scares
have
me
a-
because I in my mind something happens.
Well,
So-
it definitely will happen. If you're an idiot and you're just going out and doing anything without
death.
doing the research,
Yeah.
that's going to happen.
Yeah.
100%.
So there's this sushi restaurant in Bozeman where my sister lives. I think it's Bozeman.
I might
But-
go up there.
But a bunch of people died
From eating.
No, at the sushi restaurant from eating the sushi restaurant.
from not fish.
From eating wild mushrooms?
No, they got
There was
stabbed
mushrooms.
by a knife.
Okay.
Yeah. It was mushrooms. It was some sort of like mushroom. They didn't prepare them right or something. But yeah, these mushrooms killed like 4 fucking people.
Wow.
I hate this story.
And
I
yeah,
know.
so it's like one of those things. It's like, yeah, so if you're gonna eat sushi on a water slide, make
Next
sure
to a
there's not
race
any
car track
mushrooms in there.
on
No.
a horse.
Make sure there's not any wild mushrooms. If you're
I-
gonna ride a horse down a water slide into a racetrack,
Well, to lighten up the mood a little bit more, because I hate that story. That's the kind of stuff that scares me. That is stuff that like sits in my brain. But I don't have like OCD about it. I don't think about it all night. It'll like sit there, but it won't like fester. I
It's
guess
not invasive.
No, it's not like it. I'll never eat sushi again. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, and
well,
if
yeah,
I
it's a mushroom.
yeah,
It was mushrooms. It wasn't even
It wasn't
sushi.
the-
Yeah, but I love that. Like when you hear that, you're like, and and what's funny to me is
Like
I'm like,
pufferfish. That was the first thing I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I want to go eat there.
Pufferfish. Oh, because you don't
They've got
die.
the good shit.
Well, no, I bet it's really cheap and like.
Do you think it's still open?
And then I'm like,
No way, it's still open.
and I'm like, how likely is that to happen twice?
They're gonna be on their A game now. You know,
Like when the kid at my daycare had me in his dad's gun room and fired the gun into the ceiling when I was 6 years old.
Oh my god.
The shotgun into the ceiling when he was showing me his new shotgun that wasn't loaded, and he shot it into the ceiling. The reason why they kept me there is they were like, well, now they know to lock it. Like this is how
won't
like
happen
yeah,
again.
it's not gonna happen.
Right,
Yeah,
it won't happen
yeah.
twice. Yeah. And the kid's okay? You didn't say that part.
No,
Well,
he ate those
no.
mushrooms.
So I was the kid that was getting shown the gun. So I'm lucky that I didn't get my fucking head blown off because he thought it wasn't loaded and he just pulled the trigger into the
Yeah,
ceiling.
when I
and
was in
fucking-
Wyoming, that shit happens. But he shot through the window and shot the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, his buddy, because they were fucking around. Yeah.
Yeah.
With
Guns
mushrooms.
are guns are
Guns are bad.
flowers.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Yeah. But I did do mushrooms for the first time 4 weeks ago. I think.
Landlocked sushi. That's
Yeah.
what you want
Oh,
to go
really?
for.
Yeah.
You did mushrooms for
your
the first
first-
time 4 weeks ago?
Yeah. I've never done mushrooms.
What?
First time?
So I've always, like most people I know, had that their first tripping experience like that when they were younger.
Sure.
Like, what was it like, being an adult?
Well, I did it actually unintentionally. I took a nap during the
right.
day, which I always do. Always nap for like once or twice a day. And then I woke up from a nap, and normally when I wake up from a nap, sometimes when I wake up from a nap, I'm hungry. And so I went into my refrigerator and I was looking around for food, and I saw a chocolate bar, and it was like a dark chocolate, and it didn't say anything on it.
Yeah,
and I was like,
that's-
you know what? My girlfriend hasn't eaten this in a while. She obviously doesn't like dark chocolate.
This is being saved for a special time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds legit to me. Okay, you guys know where it's going, but this sounded legit
At the
in my head
time.
at the time, and I ate them. It was like
How
four
much
pieces.
chocolate?
Four pieces.
Okay.
Do you know
That's what was
the-
left.
Do you know what the dosage was?
It was probably around an eighth.
Oh wow! So you
It was probably around. I mean,
a
it
good-
probably was. Yeah,
That's a good run.
You ate the whole chocolate bar?
it was 4 pieces of chocolate
wow.
left in it because I thought she just didn't like dark chocolate.
How was it? Like, I mean, were you tripping pretty hard?
Well, here's what happened: is I ate it and I went back into the bedroom and I was sitting there and I was scrolling on my phone, which is one of my favorite things to do to put myself back to sleep. Is I just scroll on like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and all of a sudden I couldn't scroll through Facebook anymore, and I was feeling weird, and I got up.
Oh, you beat it.
I beat social media. I went to the end
Yeah.
of social
Got to the
media.
first post.
And I got up, and she was laying on the couch, and I went and I said, "Hey, there's no reason that there would be unmarked drugs in our house."
Oh, absolutely. Not in the fridge,
she
right?
went ghost. She does not have a fucking poker face. I'm telling you right now, she has no poker face. I looked at her, and she went, "Those are my brother's mushrooms." And I was like, what? I was so angry. I got angry. Anger was the first thing. Because I don't mind doing drugs. I wasn't scared of mushrooms.
Did you just go out back and rope your anger out?
Well, stop jumping the gun, motherfucker. I'll get to that part. First, what I did is I went into the bathroom and I was
And
like,
looked in the mirror?
nope.
Good call.
Looked into the toilet instead, and I
Oh, no.
forced myself to throw up. I forced myself to throw up because I always heard that if you throw up and you're on mushrooms, it makes them kick in faster.
So you're trying to
Right?
expedite this.
But I knew that I had only eaten them like 30 minutes before, and I was like, if I can get anything out of my system, then maybe I can have a better time.
Yeah. Did
And-
you get nauseous?
No, I just wanted it out. Like,
Did you get it
I just-
out?
So I did. I did throw up. And there was a weird point where I knew I was starting to get high because at one point I went, this should be easier. Bulimics do this like every day. Why is this not easier to do? And then I like cranked it.
I
and
need
I
a
was
girthier
I was out.
finger.
And she was like, well, what can I do for you? You already have it in your system. What can I do? And I was like, fucking Google it. I need information. This is what I need right now. I need information. Do I eat food? Does it make it kick in faster if I eat food? Should I drink water? Should I have
Did you have anything going
Gatorade?
on? Like, did you need to be any kind of place?
No. That wasn't the anger. My anger wasn't I'm
Jury duty.
I mean, I just was trying to make sure that it wasn't like, oh God, I'm supposed to be somewhere.
No,
I'm out of my
no, no,
mind.
I'm
you know?
giving a eulogy in 20 minutes.
yeah.
I'm supposed to be at work.
Yeah. No. I luckily, best case scenario, we didn't have to be anywhere. Actually, we were going up to, at that night, we were going up to Fort Collins to watch Sam Tallent's special. So that was the only place I needed to be, and Jess could drive. So it did that was totally fine. But at that point, I just wanted information. And so I called my brother, and my brother is a music therapist. And I told him what was going on.
So mushroom expert.
Yeah, exactly. Mushroom
He'll
expert.
know what to do.
And he said, I'm going to send you a mix on Spotify. This is what I use when I have a lot of anxiety. It'll chill you out. And I was like, perfect. Did that, jumped in the shower. I just wanted to feel clean.
Clean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's common.
Yeah. It was that's a common one, right? That's normal. Yeah.
I ate Oreos one time, got in the shower, and threw those up. That was a bad time.
That makes you feel dirty. You're a dirty, dirty boy.
I need to get rid of those.
And then she came in and she was like, listen, you can eat food. You don't have to eat food, whatever. That doesn't seem to be, because I know with pot, it'll attach to fat. It'll make you higher, right? So if you have marijuana, edibles and stuff like that, and you have any kind of fat, that'll do it. So peanut butter, avocado, stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? And she was like, just have a hydration drink thing. We should be fine. It does say to go outside. That might be helpful. So what I did is I got out of the
advice.
shower
Yeah.
and I went and I roped that dummy for 2 hours straight.
Hell yeah.
So I had I had headphones in and I was listening to Zach Bryan the whole time, and I roped that
Moving at
motherfucker.
Godspeed.
Baby, you could have put me on I would have won the whole fucking rodeo the way I was roping.
Yeah.
I was that's all I needed. Sun was still out in the backyard. I was fine. One thing I did make her do, though, is I made her clean up the dog shit in the yard because I kept on thinking it would touch my rope, which it wouldn't. It was on the other side, but I couldn't be in I needed a clean palette. I needed a clean space for myself, and I was fine. By the time I got up to Sam, we ended up going to Sam's special and stuff, and I was fine. So it was good.
So do you think that you're going to do it again?
Yeah.
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 You're a
I think I
fan?
can totally do it. Yeah. It was more
That's
of
a lot for the first time if it truly was an eighth, though. That's a
Yeah, that's it.
Well, good thing you puked some of it up, though. I'm
I
sure
puked some
that
of it
probably
up.
helped.
There was one point while I was high where I went, you have done 10 years of therapy. You've been ready for this. You know what I mean? You're not 19, bitch. You're fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You figured out your demons. You have a good relationship with your parents. It now just have fun. Because I think
just
my
get out
worry
there and
was
rope
always
that
my
dummy.
mind, right? And I roped that dummy, and I fucked that dummy
well,
up, dude.
sometimes also drugs don't have to be going inside and
No.
having complicated experiences to try to sort yourself out. Sometimes you just go out and go, I'm going to kick this volleyball around.
Yeah. I'm just going to enjoy the sun. I'm going to
Yeah.
do something that
Look
I
at
like
stuff
doing.
outside.
Dude, I love microdosing and hiking.
Sure.
It's a jam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And also, we've been taught too, not taught, but I think at a certain point we were taught to fear it. And then the next part, with comedy, we were taught that everybody's fine. Everybody does it. It's
Yeah.
not that scary. And for the amount of jokes that I've heard of people just being got too high and then I, sat on the toilet for 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, you're fine, or I had too many mushrooms, I pooped
Yeah,
my pants.
you knew
I
enough
don't know
to
why
know
there's so
you were
many
gonna
poop
be
jokes.
okay.
Well, mushrooms do affect your digestive system.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get nauseous. You feel like you're going to poop.
Yeah. No, I actually, stomach
I've
felt
definitely
good.
thrown up. One of the first times I ate mushrooms, I got so nauseous that I threw up.
Did you have the right afterwards? Did you go to fucking high visual town?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was definitely. It was I was feeling tons of body buzz was coming
Yeah.
on, and things were already starting to be pretty crazy. And then
So it got right. That's what
it
I've
was
always heard. It
on
got
the way up, and my stomach was
more.
just so
Yeah.
knotted up that I kind of I think I would put my hand on a tree or something, and I
Yeah.
threw up a little bit. But yeah, as soon as I threw up and started looking around, I was Yeah, it was pretty wild. I was like aware of myself, you know, like my sweat coming down my face,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And then I looked up because I had leaned on a tree and the tree was moving like a lot, and I was like, "Whoa!" It's you know,
Yeah.
it was real move. You know how trees can look,
You know how trees move.
real squiggly and stuff. You
Yeah.
know, like it
On
was
ecstasy, a tree bark felt the most. That's one of the most amazing things I've ever touched in my life.
Really?
Just so.
Like smooth
That's
and
when I knew I
rough
was-
at the same time. Kind
So
of.
I just someone caught me petting it. I was like, oh, I'm fucked up right now.
Somebody called me
it's it.
fucking that
Yeah,
tree.
this is getting good to me.
Do you remember what kind of tree it was?
I think it was an oak.
Interesting.
You know, it might have been an oak. It was like the bark was good and thick.
Okay, yeah,
You know.
probably an oak. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot
Aspen would probably
different
feel
trees.
interesting, right?
No.
So smooth.
Yeah, it could. Or aspen or like a birch.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden your hand gets white.
And the thing about tripping around aspens or birches, they get the eyes.
Oh, yeah, that'll fuck you
So
up.
then
yeah.
the trees are looking at you.
I didn't even thought about that.
Yeah, the cow wasn't looking at me because I wrote from behind, so I didn't actually have to stare at the cow's eyes.
Look at it.
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me. But yeah, it was a good trip. I want to do it again. It was more of the feeling of like not choosing it. Like I don't like the idea of like doing drugs and being like, well, I didn't choose to
Or
do
it-
this. It's just in my system.
Yeah.
And I think the throwing up was control. Like when I threw up, I felt, which now makes me sound bulimic, but I felt more in control of the high when I did it.
Yeah, and those trips, when they get on top of you, you have to remember. The one thing I know, you have to remember that you took a drug and you will come down and you're not going to die.
Right.
As soon as you forget that, you're fucked.
Yeah.
The last
I didn't feel like I was gonna
ketamine
die.
session
Yeah.
I had, like
Oh, yeah.
I had such a bad experience. The nurses had to come in. I was screaming for help.
Because
Like,
you were
it was
worried about
bad.
dying.
No, I just thought I thought I broke myself. Like I got
Oh.
it. They gave me too much. It had
Yeah.
been too long since I'd done it, and I know I talked about this at another point, but I had a vision of a computer because there was so much information coming at me so quickly.
Mm-hmm,
I saw a computer, and then I noticed that it was downloading too much information. I saw the mainframe fry out, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird." And then my brain went, "That's our nervous system," and I went, "Uh-oh," and then I just fucking lost it.
Yeah, dude,
that
that
sounds
sucks.
terrifying.
That
Yeah.
sucks. And
It was
how
wild.
do the nurses deal with that?
Well, the nurse came in and was trying to calm me down. Marciana was there, and I
Okay,
was
good.
repeatedly yelling and crying and apologizing for her, or to her for what I had done.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was like 3.5 minutes, and then I came out, and once I get to that point, I was like, "Did I do something?"
Yeah,
Because
yeah, right.
there was such a vast disassociation.
Right.
Wow.
That makes sense.
That's incredible.
So I got into the blob. AJ grew this blob.
I grew
What's a
several
blob?
blobs.
What's a blob?
A blob is a unique manifestation of a mushroom growth. Sometimes they're rare.
Oh.
So a mushroom has a very similar, like it's got a stalk and
Right.
it's got a head and then it fans out.
This is just a blob.
So
Just like a puff ball.
Like a puff?
grows like a puff ball. There was no cap, so it's not going to drop spores. It's just a mutant. And also, I found out technically the other things that grew out of the bag were mutants too, very large.
Wild.
One of the mushrooms was a single mushroom was 152 grams.
Wow, that's
Damn.
so true.
They're, large. I can show you pictures of them, but yeah. So they were so big.
Yeah.
To try to dry them out, I left them out for a little while
Mm-hmm.
to start to dehydrate it, and then to put them in the dehydrator, what I had to do was literally slice them like delicate mushrooms,
yeah.
and so they look like small wooden blocks you had chopped up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and I gave him one of the discs.
Yeah, and me and my buddy got into it, and I was having a great time.
Did you
but
guys eat the whole thing?
No, we ate probably like a half a gram of it, or like to a gram each. Not that much, but it was strong.
Yeah.
And
I should also say it is recommended to not eat them.
Oh, really?
So
Why are you telling this man
Hold
after
on,
he
hold
fucking
on.
ate them?
Let me tell
yeah,
you
what
why.
the fuck?
Well,
you gave it to me to eat, and you told me none of this.
well, but you didn't let me finish. The reason that people recommend not to eat them is because they're too strong. That's
Oh,
it.
you can
Because
handle it. You're a big boy. You got this.
if you took a regular amount of mushrooms and ate those, and you're
So-
like, I do this all the time, and then you took one of these, you're going to the fucking moon.
So I had to take my buddy.
going- yeah.
I had to take my buddy back to the hotel, and
oh, you did that to him. He went to the moon.
We both did it, but this this is the message he sent me.
Yeah, and when you do that, I'm gonna share with them the messages I got from you.
Yay! I love this.
He goes, I couldn't even speak at one point. I forgot where I was going, why I was even here. Fucking crazy.
And yeah, and so
they're pretty good, pretty potent.
yeah,
yeah, I don't want that.
I'll tell
whatever
you
that is. I don't want whatever he took.
Well, I'll tell you about that off air.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't know what I was in. I was in Steamboat, and I didn't know what was going on, and then all of a sudden I got a message from Zac that just said, "Blob rules. I love Blob."
Hell yeah, dog. Hell yeah, dog.
But the problem was, it was late, and I was like, "Who the fuck is Bob?" And I was like, "I don't think this was meant for me." And then the next morning, I read it, and I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Did you try the Blob?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, Blob for president." And I was like, "This is at 9 a.m. You're still in it."
Hell yeah, dude.
But
That's
it's good.
amazing.
My buddy in Wyoming grew a mutant, and aborts are the same way. So when you grow a mushroom, sometimes when it starts to grow, it'll just stunt. It'll stop growing. The head'll turn black. It looks bad, but it's just aborted. It's like, hey, I'm done. And those are also known to be extremely potent.
Interesting.
So there's a whole lot of science that needs to be understood about these things. But my buddy Bill was the one that was like, yeah, I grew one of those things when I was in high school.
That's amazing.
And they recommend not to eat it because of the dosage. You're like, oh, it's going to be really
it's a
strong.
dosage. That's
Yeah,
Okay,
because
yeah.
it's-
you can't manage it.
Well, and you have no idea.
Sure.
So literally you could eat a piece and be out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
You're still coming down. Like, it's not going to kill you.
No. Right. You're not losing it, but
Yeah, it was real strong for how little. Because like I was going for a microdose, and I don't know, he took some, and then he was like, I want some more, and I was
Right.
and he kind of does this where he's like, yeah, let's trip, and then he'll like want more, and then he'll be like, I took too much.
okay, so that's also like his personality, because there's people that have that personality, right?
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
the thing. Anyways, so
a lot of
controlling
times
it is harder.
I find, and this is me, like I find it to be better to go in and get past the wave where you're in it and you're like, oh, this is comfortable, and then booster. As opposed to like going real hard and then just being
Going
like,
all
oh
in.
fuck, oh god, there's the computer again.
Do you know what was annoying when I did mushrooms is that there was a few people
That you didn't know you ate them?
that I didn't know that I ate them. That really made me mad. And also another thing was that there was a few people, including my girlfriend and my brother, that went, well, I guess you're just along for the ride. And I was like, I'm going to punch somebody in the face. Like, I hate, like, there was like a
Did
point.
they say giddy up?
Later, giddy up, bitch.
Put your rope.
But and at the time, it was more of, again, I was in that like 30-minute window at the very beginning where I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want this because I didn't choose this.
Yeah.
And later, I get the saying. But when you're like not having fun and it's like you're along for the ride, you're like,
Yeah.
I know what the fucking ride is. I'm not a fucking asshole. I know what the ride
it's a
is.
water
Just
slide.
let me. Yeah. And your head
it's a tall
is
one.
off.
It's also, though, when you're in that position and you didn't know you did it, and it's the first time, you really need someone to kind of comfort you and go,
Sure.
it's going to be cool.
I told her fucking Google it, and then she like made fun of me later, and I was like, no, that's what I needed. I needed information. I just needed facts.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. And facts would have made me feel so much
Well,
better.
and literally someone could have done this, not even looked at the phone and just been like, or not even Googled anything and be like, oh, it says here, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
as long as you
It
didn't
says
eat
that-
4 pounds,
right.
you're not
Right.
going to die. You're going to have a good
instead
time.
she was scrolling and not saying anything, and I was like, I'm gonna throw that phone off a bridge.
Well, because then it looks like they're really doing research and getting concerned.
Right, exactly. That's where you like read it, because also it's your partner, so you
You're like,
can read their fucking faces.
Yeah.
we
Well,
all know their
if you
fucking
wouldn't have thrown
faces.
those mushrooms up, you could have
Yeah.
read her mind.
Right. And that's where I fucked up,
hurt her
dude.
thoughts.
Amazing. Well, that's very cool about the blob. I didn't know that. And
Yeah, very, very few people know about it. I didn't know about it because I was going to chuck it because I thought I had gotten
Like an
contained.
infection or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which the contamination can be. That's like probably the most dangerous thing if you're like growing it, right?
You got to
Like,
watch
you
it.
can-
But what I started to realize is also contamination is very obvious.
Yeah,
like a
you're not
lot of
gonna
people are like,
Oh, you
Black.
can see it.
yeah, it's gonna rot
Black.
away.
Also,
I've seen
also
it, yeah.
green. Like you
Where
get
it
green mold is bad, and it's weird because you are growing mold.
Right, you're growing
Like
mold.
when you watch that fuzz
Fungus.
go everywhere, you're like, I don't know.
Right.
But once it turns black, then you're like, oh, I don't think it's supposed to be black.
Right.
No, and it's also weird too because when they open and drop spores, like the block or whatever they're on, they're going to turn that like kind of a blackish color.
Interesting.
Yeah,
You know?
but yeah.
That is really interesting.
Yeah.
This is the kind of shit that we love.
I can tell you a whole
Just so
bunch
you know,
about
like
it
this
just
is like
because-
when it comes to like plants, animals, like we were literally just talking about this on our podcast about like this is the thing that we love to talk about
Yeah.
all the time.
Growing
and
stuff.
you just don't always have the opportunity with other comics because eventually they just kind of they want like the little piece of it and then they're like, what do you think I should do to get like more followers? And you're like, all right, forget it. Forget it.
Well, speaking of that, where
Speaking
can
of
people
followers.
where can people find you guys?
Yeah. Well, you can find on Instagram, we're at Wolfhawk Comedy. I'm Elliot Broder. I'm at Mr. Mike Hawkburns on pretty much everything, I think.
Yep, and I'm at Lizzy Wolfson.
And we've got a show every first Saturday of the month at Rise Theater at 7 p.m.
Yeah, so you can find us
that we
Wolfhawk.
host.
If you look up Wolfhawk, you can find us both, and we're tagged in all of our pictures.
Yeah.
And stuff like
Do you
that.
guys have anything coming up this week?
I have Don't Tell. I work with Don't Tell a lot. Don't Tell Denver. And
We're
super
I think-
fun.
Aren't we both in Greeley?
Oh yeah, we're
this
both
month?
in Greeley.
That's-
It's Stella's Underground.
Stella.
Stella's
That's a
Underground.
fun one.
Yeah. It's a super
Yeah.
fun one. We're both on that,
so
and that should be
I'm
super fun.
hosting and Lizzie's headlining, so that should be pretty
Come
fun.
see us in Greeley. There's lots of cows there.
Fuck yeah. And keep
Maybe
it-
mushrooms.
and
'cause of the cows.
Yeah, follow them. Keep an eye out for the podcast coming out soon.
Zach, you
And,
got anything going on?
check out the album. I do. I'll be in Eau Claire, Wisconsin on Saturday.
Oh, that's
Nice.
great. That's
Yeah.
super fun.
If you're in Boulder, Colorado, I'll be at Hotel Boulderado doing the Comic Sense Thursday through Saturday this week.
That'll be super.
Yeah, that's such a fun show.
Yeah.
What a blast.
Cool. Well, I think it's time to figure out if you guys are hippie.
Yeah, are we
or
hippie
not.
or not hippie?
So who should we do first here?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty hippie.
Well,
They get to guess. They tell us.
yeah, this isn't your
yeah,
fucking
sorry.
show, buddy.
This is your podcast.
But I feel like we talked a bit about the information.
But all right, let's do Elliot first.
Okay.
So 3,
2,
2,
1. Hippie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There we go.
for sure.
Yeah.
What do you have him at?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. He's a 7.5 to an 8. Like it's. Pretty
I have him
strong.
at an 8. Yeah, I think it's pretty strong. Yeah.
Once you go to 5 or 6 different championships, I think that's got to get my
Well,
score
and
up
it's
there.
the big part for me with that was that you went to jam bands, you knew jam band names, and it never once were you like, I didn't like any of that.
You
had-
loved it.
You
Yeah,
had
it was a great time.
exact numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you like to farm, and you
Yeah,
have
big fan of
things in
agriculture.
ball jars.
He's a green thumb. This motherfucker, like you give him something green, it will.
Is that what
it'll-
happened from
it's
the noodling?
That's a noodling. That's what her
Thought it was
name
gonna
was.
go
Yeah,
away.
noodling. But yeah, he is a green thumb. I mean, how many pot plants? How many? I mean, you don't have to say. Actually, a lot of them.
Just the legal amount.
A legal
Yeah.
Allowed
amount.
to have.
The legal
Yeah.
amount that you're supposed to have.
Yeah.
All right.
No. Beep that out.
Yeah, he's the gardener. I have the black thumb. I like to kill things, not intentionally. Animals
So,
are fine.
Black and green thumbs,
Animal
both
thumbs.
bad for
Yeah.
fungus.
Yeah,
cut
both
off
bad
them
for
thumbs.
mushrooms.
Cool. So let's do Lizzie here.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Not
hippie.
hippie.
Oh man, I still
at that.
had her.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it was all the animal stuff.
Yeah, but she's like roping cows.
That might be-
yeah, I
Normally
don't
that
think
tends
that's
to be
very
yeah.
hippie. Yeah, that's something that hippies are like, no, not the.
Yeah, I
you
think
know.
hippies hate the rodeo, right?
Yeah, they don't like
Yeah,
the rodeo.
I don't know. I mean, there were hippie cowboys.
That's
There were
true.
hippie
Yeah.
cowboys for sure. Essentially, if I was to cowboy, I would be more of a hippie cowboy.
Yeah,
I think.
So, and I'll be
But
honest.
the things
like,
that I do are definitely not.
yeah, in all fairness, you're at like a 5 to a 5.1
Sure,
on
sure,
my
sure.
scale. So you're right on the fence.
Right in the
but I
line.
can't. I can't I don't feel good just going
But
on the fence.
Just recently dipped your toe into psychedelics. I could see you maybe going deeper into the hippie
Yeah,
side
maybe that
here.
number will go up. I mean, I have a Subaru, but that's just because I'm gay. It's not because I'm a hippie.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of lesbian hippie. There's a lot of lesbian hippie overlap too. I
Sure.
feel.
Yeah. I have to think. I have to think similar to a hippie because I'm gay. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, I guess there are.
you could be a
lesbians
Republican
that are,
if you wanted to be.
I hate that. I hate
Log cabin Republic.
these queers out there that are Republicans too. I hate that so much. Oh my god, I hate that. It's so I can't. It's insufferable to me. I can't do it.
But the eye roll just
yeah.
not happy. No.
Yeah. I think I agree with you guys. You guys made a good decision. Let's do some mushrooms.
Yeah, you want to get into some blob?
I'm trying to get into some blah, bitch.
Thanks so much for listening. The best way, if you like the show, tell a friend, like, subscribe, follow us on social media at Hippie Not Hippie Pod. And like, subscribe, get on the motherfucking
bus. Did that? Is it still just the one bus? It's still just the one voice.